Dude, I was thinking about something the other day that I was like, that's a good question.
What's
But
that?
if you could go back in time, like at any point you want, like if you could go back in time and invent something, be the inventor of something, what would you choose? Like if you could go back and instead of, Thomas Edison inventing the telephone, it was you.
Uh,
I don't know why I was thinking about it. It's like, I wonder what invention would be the most, like, what invention has made the most money?
I don't know. I've never really thought about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I never had either until just the other day, and I was randomly thinking about it.
Uh,
But I think if I could go back and invent something, I think I would invent the airplane, probably. I don't know why. That's just
I wouldn't
what I
fly
thought
on
of.
it.
Gosh, man, can you imagine how different the airplane world would be if I was the inventor?
Oh, good gosh.
God, trains would be a big thing.
Cars would be more prevalent in travel than airplanes would, I feel.
Yeah,
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe I feel like I would want to do something with cars, like
invent the car.
no, like be the guy like had like a big pivotal moment in the automotive industry and stuff. Like I don't know, like or like something with technology.
Yeah,
Maybe something
a
like
computer.
that. Yeah, yeah, because something that like you would want to be like you would want to make a big change. And I mean, there's millions of things that have been invented that we don't even think of.
Oh yeah,
But I don't know. I don't know what I would do really. That is a good question.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know why I was thinking about it. I was just randomly. I don't know. I was out there with my Harbor Freight wood chipper.
Yeah, and just going through the
grinding
motion.
away, thinking about, gosh, if I would have invented this thing, I probably wouldn't have been, I probably wouldn't be very rich now if I had invented the Harbor Freight wood chipper. But,
No,
dude, that thing is awesome.
really.
Oh my gosh. Like when
Harbor Freight's not that bad. I mean, just
No.
seriously.
but like I didn't really expect like what I've gotten out of it so far. Like I expect, okay, I'll use it for 5-6 hours or so, and it'll probably break.
Yeah, yeah.
But dude, so far, man, and I have tested that thing in ways it wasn't meant to be used, and it still works great.
And it's electric.
Yeah.
Dang.
Watching my electric bill be like $1,000.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of
Dang, I didn't think about that.
how big of how big of stuff will it like? Can you put through it?
You can put like, I would say like, about an inch and a half.
Oh, so
Inch
little
and
stuff.
3/4. Yeah, nothing huge. Yeah, maybe a little bit less than like a $half size, something like that. But yeah, that thing it'll bog down, and then eventually, like you'll have to kind of control. Like if it's a bigger piece, you can't just like jam it all the way
You
down.
just got to
there.
do a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Take your time with it. Yep. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, so far, dude, it has been great. And I bought the replacement plan, so if anything breaks within 2 years,
Just take it back
and get a new one.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, so shout out Harbor Freight, the wood chipper.
Yeah.
Not everything.
Yeah. Not everything up there is excellent.
No,
For sure. But
no, Harbor Freight.
good for certain things. It's good for the stuff. I feel like Harbor Freight is like good for the stuff that you are gonna do on an occasion.
Yeah, or like your average DIYer.
Yeah. Yeah, not when you don't want to go
Yeah.
and spend $200 on a power tool or something like that.
Yeah. See,
Just
if
go
I
over and get
invented
a cheaper one.
if I invented the airplane, we would be the Harbor Freight of aviation.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
Cheap, sometimes reliable.
Spirit, we'd be the Spirit. It wouldn't be called Spirit anymore. It'd be called the, I don't know, what would it be called?
Unreliable.
Come take a flight on Unreliable.
Quick and unreliable. It's kind of like me.
Might finish, might not. Who knows?
Either way, you're going somewhere.
Yeah, you're going somewhere. Might not be where you want to. You might have had planned to go to London. You're going to end up in the Atlantic. But you still saw things. And that's all that matters. You're paying for the experience.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like.
Dude, when we were, whenever I flew back in from El Paso, I flew into Nashville the night that Hurricane Helene came in.
Yeah.
And it was up in Kentucky. And oh my gosh. I've flown a whole lot, so I don't really get scared or.
Was there a lot
nervous.
of turbulence or something?
Oh my gosh.
Really?
Dude, we had to circle Nashville like 3 times. I don't know if maybe the airplane or the airport was like backed up.
Yeah.
Or what, but we had to keep circling, and the whole time it's like.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was about to throw up.
Dang. The last thing you want, I feel like on a flight like that, when you finally do get to going down, is you hear the pilot come on, but he doesn't say anything, and he just starts playing "We're Going Down" by Fall Out Boy.
At least you'd laugh before you die.
Yeah, I don't know. You hear a guy in the back, "This band sucks."
Oh man, can you imagine being a pilot and being responsible for however many people are on board?
Heck no. I got 3 kids, and that's hard enough. There's 3 kids running around this house, and I have enough trouble being responsible for them.
Yeah.
One's missing. The others are, who knows? Well, they're supposed to be in there. And then you think, okay, they haven't said anything until you go in there and look. And then your kitchen's flooded.
Dude, have you ever, like, when your kids were younger, like, you go check on them before you go to sleep, and you sit there and watch and like, I don't think they're breathing. You go over there and hold your
for
hand
sure.
up and make sure they're breathing.
Like, nah, you pull the classic, you like crawl up to the bed, like so that you don't wake them up if they are asleep. And then like you get up or next to them and you sit there and it's like they take a deep breath and it's like they're not really breathing. So you just grab them and shake their leg and you lay back down to see if they jolt. So if they do wake up, they don't see you.
That's where nightmares are made.
And then they just jolt and they just roll back over and go to bed. And you're like, all right, we're good.
And then you get a kick out of it, so you keep on doing it a couple times.
Yeah. Then the next time you put on a mask.
Now your kid has PTSD.
Yeah. Yeah. Be like, was the maid in my room last night? We don't have a maid.
We don't have a maid.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Yeah, no wonder the kids are terrified of the dark or sleeping in their own room.
Yeah.
Cody's in there just shaking them every time he closes her eyes.
Hooga booga. You got to check. It's all out of love. Got to check on them, make sure they're still alert and okay. It's really nerve-wracking when you bring them home from I don't guess you've ever had to deal with this, but when you bring them home after they've had a surgery or something, his Pierce, he had that it's major. It's not major surgery, but it is major surgery because it was on his spine.
Yeah,
and he now that was kind of nerve-wracking, but
I would imagine
the main part you stayed at the hospital for. He had to, what was it? He had to stay flat on his back for 24 hours. Couldn't move.
Oh, my goodness.
And then afterwards...
Can you imagine how hard that is for a kid?
Well, well, that's what we thought. We thought it was going to be a pain, but, it'd be, really difficult to keep him. Because, anesthesia, he wakes up early from anesthesia every time. It doesn't keep him under that long.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he was so weak from going through all that, like he didn't even move. And then he could lay at like a 30-degree angle. Now, I think it was a 30 or a 40-degree angle or something like that. Now, when they put him in that position,
Yeah.
now that was the troubling part, because it's like, don't move, because you don't want him to pop you don't want it to start leaking fluid inside, because if it does, then it's like they have to go right back in and redo it.
Oh gosh.
And so it was like, oh man, it was like you never slept. Like I would sleep in this like those reclining chairs that they have in the rooms. And we had just had Palmer, so Kate and Palmer would lay in the bed with Pierce, and then I would lay in that chair, and I didn't really sleep much. I was just always like leaning up, like checking, making sure that
Man, that's so much on you guys too, like on you and Kate, like the stress of all that.
Oh, it was it was a big deal. But now all that's behind us, and he's good with all that. He has no more doctor's appointments or none of that, and so we made it through it. But it is, people that have to take their children in and stuff, that's the worst. Like my thoughts and stuff go out to people like that. I mean, because gosh, that's to take your kids back, and it's like they just get PTSD from it.
Oh yeah,
from going under and stuff with all that stuff hooked to them, and all the random people coming in and checking on them and everything. And yeah, it's a different thing. It's something that you don't think about having to experience.
Yeah. Well, then you have that going on, and of course that's your priority, and then you have everything else like in the back of your mind, like bills, work, and other life stuff, and it just adds up, and man, like overall, that is got to be overwhelming.
Yeah, it's a big stress thing, man. It is. But like, honestly, at first, you don't really think about it, the other stuff, because it really doesn't matter, and you realize that. But like, then when everything's like back to normal, you're on the uphill or you're on the downhill of it. It's coming to a stop, and you're getting ready to come home and everything else. That's when it all starts. That's when you're like, oh crap, man, when I get home, I got so much stuff to do. I got so much. Yeah. You got to sit down and get everything, because like not just on top of your expenses that you normally had, then you've got to figure up like the stay at the hospital, and then all the money you spent up there, because like obviously, I mean, people come and visit, but like it was during COVID. During those policies, so like they would let us stay and let Palmer stay, because she was just she was not that old. She was a couple months old, maybe like 6-7 months, and I don't think she was that old. But so they would let us all stay, and like they would let like one person come in and see him, and then every now and then a certain nurse on staff should be like, listen, we'll let both, if grandparents or somebody comes in, they're like, we'll let both of them come in.
Yeah.
We're like, we'll just say, that the parent went out or something, to let them come in. Like, y'all can all stay in here. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And those are the people that you really like to see.
Grateful for.
Yeah, because, they understand. Some people just go by the protocol, I feel like, that's there, because they're like, this is my job. But then other people are like, yeah, this is my job, but this is also your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, there's no sense in making it worse.
Right.
When you already are in a bad situation. And dude, it's horrible. Like, you see all these commercials and stuff and hear people talk about it. But dude, when Pierce was born in the NICU, I'll never forget, there was babies in there that the parents never came and saw them. Ever.
Really?
Yeah, never.
Man, I could not imagine.
They dropped them off there, and they didn't come back.
How? See,
I don't know. I don't get it.
It kills me. I don't understand how somebody could do that.
I don't either, and it's sad. And this one guy was like, and I mean, I felt like he was trying to do all he could, but he just didn't have a lot. And he was there, and he was like, I need to get a car seat. He was like, because his son, he came like I think it was like every 3 days.
Yeah.
Because he was working, and it was only him. I don't guess the mom was in the picture. I don't know. I never really talked to him, and because I didn't want to really dig into his situation.
Yeah.
Some people don't really want to talk about it, but he was like, I've got to get a car seat, and he was like, he didn't have a car. He was like, will it be okay if I take the baby? If I take it home on a bus? He was like, I don't have any other way to get it home. Just put it in the car seat and take it with me and stuff. And people like that, you're trying. And you can't knock that. I mean, some people just fall down on, have bad luck.
Because that's more than some people can say. If somebody's actually trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because some people don't try at all.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that they just let anybody have babies. And I know it's all about freedom and stuff and everything, but, dude, some people should not have kids.
No.
They should not.
I 100% agree.
Because, it is nothing but torture. Because, I say torture, it's just, hardship on that kid a lot of times through its whole life. And it knows... And it's sad, but a lot of the times it knows nothing but bad.
Right.
And
just a product of its environment.
Yeah. And every now and then, you'll see people that have grew up in that situation and got out of it and, does well for themselves.
Yeah.
But more times than not.
Yeah.
It's not that way.
It's sad too.
It's not that way at all. Yeah.
You mentioned anesthesia. I always get a little bit nervous, anytime I get put out for anything. Like the most recent time was I had a surgery on my nose, like a septoplasty, where I had a deviated septum.
Yeah.
Well, they put me out for that. But I have this thing, let me take that back. So my grandma has this thing. It's called, absence of cholinesterase. I don't really know what it means, but it's pretty much like...
Sounds Spanish.
Yeah, I think it's Russian. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Russian.
Okay, good.
But she has this thing where whenever she goes out, whenever she goes under anesthesia, there's a chance that she won't wake up. One time she got put out for something. This is how they figured it out. She got put out for something, and she never could come out of it. It's like she was paralyzed. She couldn't move anything. She couldn't talk, couldn't open her eyes, but she could still feel everything.
Yeah.
And they didn't know that. I don't remember how many days she said she laid there like that before they realized that she could hear them. So, since she has, they said, since she has that, every, pretty much every person, connected to her or that, came from her.
Bloodline, yeah.
Will have that. And so, that's always in the forefront of my mind, when I'm getting ready to go have surgery or something.
Yeah. Dang it! I understand why you said Russian. That is the ultimate Russian roulette.
Yeah. Yeah.
Daggone.
Yeah, it is.
Let's play a game. Is Daddy coming home? Maybe, maybe not. Stay tuned.
Oh, man, that's always the weirdest thing, being put out.
I've never went under.
Oh, really?
Not on purpose.
I blacked out a couple of times.
Not on purpose. Yeah, I've never had surgery. Never. I've had
anything at all?
No.
Dang.
Never had a broken bone. But I feel like when I do, it's going to be something big.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
You're due for a good one.
Yeah, I'm due for a good one.
You're going to get hit by a car or something.
I don't know. Oh, shoo-wee.
I wouldn't fly anytime soon.
I am not planning on it, to be honest with you. I think about that all the time. I'm like, it might just be me. But I'm like, okay, Pierce had a pretty rough go at the first, 5 years of his life.
Yeah.
So he should be good for, the next 25.
Yeah.
I'm like, I had a pretty easy first 18 years of my life, besides having stitches twice. So I'm like, I feel like I got about 4 more years. I'll be 35, and I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna hit the fan.
Oh, you hit by a train.
Yeah, something. I don't like getting near them tracks.
Like your foot gets stuck in it, like it happens in movies.
Yeah, and there's a train 7 miles away. Jesus Christ! Here it is.
Oh man.
Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes I think if my foot got stuck in the tracks, I'd probably just sit there and.
I don't know. I've never thought about that, to be honest with you. I don't really go near any train tracks.
Well,
my thing is like in our town, we're known for nothing. Not us, the town. Besides being like historic or something, and that literally means nothing. But we have a walking bridge, and it's old.
Oh man,
like
that thing is terrifying. Like
yeah, I don't know when that sucker was put across, but there used to be a train that was near it.
1708.
Is it really?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
How could that's impossible being 17? Well, no, would it? Yeah, that would have been impossible. How would you have picked up somebody that high to get there to put that stuff up? Think about that. I don't know. But I was always thinking, I was like, if I walk across this thing, because I'm afraid of heights, don't like heights. I mean, at a certain point, I can go up pretty far, but then at a certain point, like my legs will start getting jittery.
Yeah.
And it's like when the point, when you're on something and the wind blows and you can kind of feel it sway just a tidbit. And that never happened at that walking bridge. But I was always afraid that one of those boards were going to fall out.
Yeah.
And if one of them did, I was like, I'm done. Like that's it.
It did because happen to somebody.
What?
Didn't it? Like no, they didn't fall all the way through.
I know some things happened under the walking bridge, but nobody fell under them.
Oh my!
Fell down on it or fell through it, fell down on it. How do you fall down on something? Well, if you fell out of a plane, but unreliable airlines.
Why don't you explain to everybody what happened underneath the walking bridge?
Nah, we best stop. We best not explain that. I don't even know where that person is anymore. Ooh. But let's just leave it at that.
Yikes.
But yeah, that was always something I thought of, like, is going across through there and falling through that thing. And have you ever seen those videos where that guy's like walking on that glass bridge and they have that that effect where it, like that glass shatters when you step on it? But it's just an image because it's a screen. Dude,
you give somebody a heart attack.
Oh my gosh. This one woman was over grabbing air. She stepped on. She was just sitting there just grabbing, like an invisible pole was going to come up through there.
Yeah, I'm so
over
terrified.
Here's a mime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm so.
I don't know what I mean,
man. It like you said, you start shaking, like your legs start shaking. Oh, like we had to climb on the roof of the armory the other day. We were looking for a leak, and I couldn't even get close to the edge. I was starting to get shaky.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll get up on top of the roof. I'll get up on top of the roof here and walk around it with a leaf blower. And I mean, that's about 20, I don't know, that's probably like 20 foot up.
Oh, man, especially like falling from
that far in.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that would hurt. But that doesn't bother me though. That part, that doesn't bother me. And like when I was younger, I used to take, and I know there's a bunch of people out there that tried this, so I'm not going to sound stupid because I know multiples have tried this. If you haven't, I am stupid. But did you ever get up on top of something tall with an umbrella and jump off, see if you'd fly?
Yes.
I did too.
Mary Poppins.
And I did. I jumped off and woof. There I went.
Smack.
Yeah. And like I would jump off. I used to jump off my parents' house all the time. Like I would jump off and like barrel roll, and it was probably like, I don't know, maybe like 14, 15 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And it would like not hurt anything. And like now, I went back and looked at that a while back. And I was thinking, because there was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was up on the roof and I jumped off. And I was fine. Like I just, I didn't just land straight on my legs. I landed and rolled.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to roll.
And, dude, I was up there maybe a year ago doing something. Storm came through or something. We were fixing it or something. And, yeah, I looked at that at that point and I was like, nah.
No way.
Hey, nah, it's too high now.
Older and wiser.
Yeah. I mean, I never got hurt doing it, And I used to take a little red wagon and sit in it and hold the handle. and like go down the steepest hills I could. You know what I mean?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you can go off.
No,
the roof.
no, I never did that. Like, where am I? No, heck no. No, I never did that. No, I was never stupid enough to try that. I did have a theory when I was maybe 10 that if I would take like hard plastic and like get like a needle and sew it onto like a sheet, and then like sew a sheet on top of that sheet and make like a suit, that if I jumped off that hard plastic wouldn't collapse and I could jump off and fly for a little bit.
Like a little wingsuit.
Yeah, like a wingsuit. Yeah. I thought that might work.
Jump
Never
off
tried
the
it.
walking bridge with that.
I might. I might try it.
Dude, that bridge is so scary.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Like, really, what is our town known for? Abraham Lincoln was apparently... Did he live here?
I know he was born in Hodgenville.
No, something here. He had a house here or something, or his childhood home, or
Yeah, is it one over on the square,
cabin,
maybe?
that little log cabin thing,
Right next to that church?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
some
think that's right.
some presidents stayed in the hotel. It's not a hotel anymore. It's abandoned,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, we did have that Coca-Cola bottling plant.
Yeah, we had the Coca-Cola bottling plant. We took trips there when we were
Yeah,
kids.
you take the field trip down there and
they'd
get
give
like
you a glass bottle, a
Yeah.
drink, and a
get like a bottle of ski and a
bag of chips. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was talking with
Now
Carter
you go
about
down
that
there and you'll
yesterday.
get freaking HIV.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That neighborhood has always been rough.
Yeah.
And I grew up over in that neighborhood too.
Yeah.
Like right up that street.
There's always something
Yeah.
going on over there.
There was this one day, this guy was walking down the street with a knife, and somebody, one of these girls had asked him what he was doing. He said he was coming to stab me.
Look out.
I had to call the cops and everything.
What did you do to him?
I have no idea. I don't even know if I ever even talked to the guy. I couldn't have been like maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9. This guy was like, at that time, probably, 15 or 16.
You wanted you out of here.
Golly. I mean, all I'd do is ride my bike up and around the street.
He just peeking out of the blinds just over.
I'm going to stab him.
I'm going to get him one day. Today might be the day.
Oh, man. And I never forgot about that. And then he actually, when I worked at Colton's, he actually started working at Colton's, and I had to train him.
Surprise.
How to be a busboy. They're cleaning a
Now the
table. I grabbed a
turntables turn.
knife. They were cleaning off a table. I grabbed a knife. Like, buddy, you remember that?
Kill you right now.
Yeah, I never brought it up when I trained him. I'm like, he might still stab me. He's been to jail and stuff.
Oh, God. Oh, he had?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that nice to know? Like, you're training people like that, and they could just snap.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I never really think about it. Like, I never get, like, really scared.
When you're younger, though, you don't think about that kind of stuff.
Like, dude, whenever I was working at TG, Kentucky,
Yeah.
this guy on second shift, like, he ran my station on second shift.
Yeah.
I found out he'd been in prison for 16 years because he killed a man. I was like, golly. I
Good
guess,
thing you didn't correct him.
yeah, I guess this might be a bad time to comment on your cross-eye. Yeah, because he was kind of cross-eyed.
Yeah.
But I would never say anything.
Is it true? You say that. Is it true that if you get slapped on the back of the head, it'll make you cross-eyed? Is that true? You want to try it? You go cross-eyed, I'll smack you.
You cross your eyes, I'll smack you. Dude,
No.
I'm starting to develop a lazy eye.
I've had one my whole life.
Well, like, I don't even know if I guess you would call it a lazy eye, but like if I'm sitting here looking
A
at
drifter?
something- oh yeah, man.
You got blue eyes.
I've got
One
a-
blue this way, one blue that way.
Yeah. I've got one sober eye and one drunk eye. Like if I'm super tired, I'll be sitting there like staring, and I like I let
You
my,
start seeing what's on the TV in the kids' bedroom and on the living room. What's going on?
Well, if I sit there and I'm
Boy,
like not
this
focusing
edible
on
is
anything,
getting me.
dude, it's so it's so embarrassing too. And Kendall, she makes fun of me. Dude, she cracked a joke the other day about it. But we were at a restaurant in Tennessee. No, we were in Florida like a couple years ago. We were at like.
And she just cracked a joke yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, 'cause my eye started.
I thought you were okay. All right, I get you now.
Yeah.
I got you. I was
But like,
okay.
if I'm not focusing, if I'm just like kind of staring off in a daze and I'm not focusing, I'm tired. Like this eye over here will just.
Yeah.
Before you know it, it's looking at the back of my head.
Yeah.
Well, the other day we were doing something at the house, and I was sitting there, in the recliner. I don't know what I was doing, and then she's like, "Daddy, your eye's doing what it did at the restaurant." And yeah, sure enough, this thing was all over in right field.
So why do you bring it back?
I gotta like just, I don't know. Let me
fix that real
straighten
quick.
this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how it. I don't know what.
Does it affect your vision? Like,
well, yeah. Whenever it does it, like,
you think
I
it
can't
give you a
focus
headache?
on anything.
Well, I can imagine. You're looking at two different things. Jeez.
Yeah, it does. Like, I can't focus on anything when I do it. Like, or like whenever I'm just staring off in a daze. That's the only time it does it. And like, everything's kind of blurry. And then whenever I can feel it, whenever it does it too, it's kind of weird.
You can feel it.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh no! Here we go again.
And I can't like stop it from doing it unless I like snap out of the little daze I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how many times I've been tired just sitting down somewhere in this thing.
That's probably why you was having trouble recruiting. Somebody be sitting there looking at you, like, if I'm gonna turn out like this, man, I don't want no part of this. I ain't gonna want none of this. Oh, two-way. That's what they call it.
Oh, two. Oh my gosh.
Oh, shoot.
That was a good one. Oh, man.
Oh, good gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, man. We're going to have to get a picture, and we're going to have to edit that in to this right here.
Yeah.
We need to see if one of your kids or Taylor has a picture of that.
Oh, well, yeah, we recorded it one time. When it first done it, we recorded it because I didn't believe them.
Did you really? Do you have the picture? You need to.
I don't know.
You need to get that.
Heck, probably half the podcast, my eyes over here, they're probably like
Well,
that.
you can't see them You can't see them like up. It's not up close enough. I don't think.
Probably
you can
good.
Tell. No.
Oh, two-way. That makes me sound like I'm bisexual. Oh, here comes old two-way.
Nah, if you were bisexual, you'd have to be called four-way.
Dude, what a problem to have.
Yeah, you're the first. I never knew that was a thing. I knew of a lazy eye. Like, and when I say like.
I guess that's what I was calling lazy eye. I don't really know what a lazy eye is.
It ain't lazy.
It was just getting lazy and drifting off.
Yeah, I'd call that active eye.
Active eye.
Yeah, lazy eye just sits there and just kind of droops down. Active eye's wandering.
So what's a lazy eye do?
Like a lazy eye, I can't remember which eye it is, but like when you're looking and you're just not like focused on anything, or like just like really like kind of like squinting your eyes, I guess. Like one eye is kind of like your eyelid is kind of like drooped down, and this one and the other one doesn't.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I was thinking
that's what I might be wrong too. I don't know, but that's what.
Well, that makes more sense. I guess I'm just cross-eyed.
I don't know. I don't know what you'd call that. Somebody out there answer that. Smarter than us.
Yeah, like if I bet, I could probably make it happen now if I. No, maybe not.
It probably won't happen when you're trying to make it happen. You know what I mean?
Well, like in the past, or like shortly after we discovered that, like I would be sitting there and like I would record myself, and I would just sit there and like, especially if I was really tired, I'd just record myself.
Yeah.
And sit there and just watch it drift off.
I don't know what that would be called. And I mean, I might be wrong, but I always thought a lazy eye was an eye You know, like it was like it wouldn't. It's like it kind of drooped down a little bit. You know.
Yeah, I didn't really know. That's just what I called it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just assumed that's what it was.
I don't know what you would. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll figure out one day.
We'll have to turn to the interwebs.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up and see. I don't know. So, how was your trip to El Paso? That we've.
Oh yeah.
We haven't put out a podcast in a while, and we've been busy with everything. And Matthew's been on a work deal to El Paso.
Yep, had to go to El Paso.
Yeah, he saw the border firsthand.
Oh yeah,
and
holy, there's holes everywhere. No, I didn't go close to it. Like from my hotel room, like I could physically look. I could see Mexico.
Yeah. Was there a fence or a wall or anything in that?
Yeah,
part?
there's a big wall. There's a big overlook there in El Paso. You can drive up. It's a little sketchy road, and then you can park and you can look down into Juarez. Yeah, it looks like a freaking war zone.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, not all parts of. You know, I don't know. They depict it like it's really bad. I mean, I know, there's obviously we have H2A workers and stuff up here that come work for people and H2A workers. That's where they basically get like a work visa to come up here and work, and it's like they'll work in tobacco and stuff like that. And I know some of them because they've been here they come back, multiple times. And you talk to them about it, and even people that grew up in Mexico and came over here that I've had the chance to talk to and that could speak English,
Yeah.
And they would say some of it's bad. It's just kind of like everywhere. It's like the cartels are a big problem in certain areas.
Yeah, it just depends on where you're at.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like you can go down there and get, what's it called?
Cocaine?
No, you can get that there too. But stem cells. You can do that stuff with stem cells.
I heard Joe Rogan talk about a place down there.
And it's like crazy that you go down there to get that. And it's like, it's not they make it hard to get up here. And I mean, the reason behind that obviously is because of all the pharmaceutical drugs and stuff it's like, why heal you? Why heal the problem when I can just ease the problem? Treat it.
The problem.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know. But it's like, and you hear people talking about like getting their, neck fused and stuff like that. That's what Joe Rogan talks about a lot. Or like they have a shoulder problem. They'll go down there and get stem cells in it.
Yeah.
And it'll make like a full recovery just off of the stem cells.
Yeah, I don't even
know. And I mean, you
what
can
that
even
is,
donate your stem cells.
How does that?
They extract it from your blood. And they put your blood back.
They just take stem cells out of your blood? Really?
Yeah, because there was people in college that would do it.
I thought they had to take it out of like an umbilical cord. Are you sure you're not talking about plasma?
I am talking about plasma. See, that's how uneducated I am on this.
I was like, gosh, I didn't know that.
I was sitting there thinking about it as I was saying it. I was like, maybe that isn't right. I am talking about something totally different. Don't you get your news from us.
I think
you do get money for plasma. I know people that did that.
I think you get like the stem cells, isn't it, from like an umbilical cord?
I know people that did it in college.
Yeah.
No, they might have had an umbilical cord. Some of them looked like they had something extra somewhere.
You got an Audi, a freaking 2-inch Audi right there.
I don't know. I don't know how you get. I don't know where stem cells come from. Then.
But you think like they talk about like ayahuasca.
That's something I don't think I would ever want to try. There's people that try it, man.
Dude, I want to try it.
You tried it?
No, I haven't. I want to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shoot,
like
I'd be afraid of the trip it would give me.
well, like I would want to do it for like personal, like just
Gain?
like yeah, like deeper insight, like a whole full meaningful experience, you know.
Yeah.
But like I know people who have tried it. Well, there's one you can do. Well, ibogaine is what I was thinking of.
That I was about to say. Yeah,
I've
heard of that.
But like ayahuasca, you can do that like here,
You could.
but you have to like. I've looked into it. Like that little blue building.
It used to be.
Is it not that no more?
No, that got shut down.
It was like you had to be a member of the church. So you had to sign up, and it was like $400 and some.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though. That
Yeah,
a little sketchy.
Probably should have looked somewhere else. That probably wasn't.
Yeah, but yeah, I know what you're talking about because some people have good things from it, and some people have bad things from it. And I mean, I don't know. You hear of a lot of people doing it that say that it gave them a whole different insight.
Yeah.
To life and to what they and some people said it made them believe in a higher power that didn't believe in God or anything like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they were like the things I was seeing. They were like it made me think there's no way that there's not something
right.
And I mean, people look bad at
cool.
there. People look down at that and everything, but like I don't think that way. Like if it was put on Earth to I feel like like people have a bad view of I would rather take and use marijuana for a pain treatment than use a freaking pain pill any day of the week. I mean, I wouldn't care what people thought about me.
Yeah.
I would rather freaking take cannabis oil.
Yeah, CBD.
And use that. No, like take actual like marijuana. What's the?
Yeah, it's CBD.
No, CBD is out of hemp. CBD oil is out of hemp. What's the oil that they extract out of? Isn't it cannabis oil? Like not cannabis.
Like
I used to know this because I grew hemp.
You grew pot.
Yeah, I sure did. Lost everything, all the money out of it.
Like the cannabinoids or something, or
I can't remember.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But like, or just do like take an edible. Take like or like do something like that, and that's like through the legal way. Get all that stuff.
Yeah.
And because man, I don't know, and I feel like if a lot of people took that over ADHD medication.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that would help out a lot. Like a really concentrated small dosage. Like maybe like, I don't know, 2 or 3 drips under your tongue or like so many milligrams of a gummy or something like that.
And that's going to be like less addictive.
Oh,
or,
for sure.
Less chance for addictive.
Yeah.
To be addicted. But like you compare like that versus like alcohol and stuff. I don't think anybody would argue that would be a safer.
No.
That is safer than alcohol.
No. I mean, like, but what people, like, everybody, what irks me up one side and down the other is when people are, like, perfectly okay if they go to get surgery and they give them, like, a bottle of hydrocodone or oxy or something like that or something. And, but, you could take and do, like, some kind of marijuana derivative or something like that, or a concentrated version of that, and be like, if you start hurting, like, take one of these gummies.
Like, oh no, I can't take that stuff.
Yeah, like the old saying goes, like what you hear from all the older generation. They say one hit and you're addicted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think they're just uneducated on it.
I do too,
honestly,
because I think a lot of it is, just like you said, it's just the dumbness of it.
Yeah,
and, I mean, like obviously, if you get into the like manufactured stuff, like drugs. I mean, obviously, yeah, it is. I mean, just like freaking pain pills. I mean, there's plenty of people that got their lives wrecked because they had a surgery and took that.
Yeah,
and it literally just demolished everything about them because
Yeah.
all they wanted was that next painkiller.
That's literally how the opioid epidemic, started.
Yeah, and it's like I just don't.
But they don't acknowledge that.
No, and
Yeah.
I mean, and I mean, there's a thing going around now, like Kentucky passed it for medical marijuana to be used, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere they might not be here. But I've heard that there was somebody that was going to do something about trying to open a legal marijuana medical dispensary thing somewhere local.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And get their license to sell it and everything, and then it gets distributed to you from somewhere. You don't grow it. They're not going to grow it here, but they're going to get it here. I heard that, but I don't know how truthful that is. But I think that would be a really good thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think people that view it as it's a bad thing is. I mean, anything can be bad if you overdo it.
Yeah.
But that's just But I think if you use that and instead of pain pills and whatnot, I think you could solve a lot of problems.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, you could. I don't think you could solve them now. Because it's so far gone.
Yeah.
I don't know what you could do to solve it now. Besides
man.
taking it all, literally. But if you take it all off the market, then the cartel manufacture it.
Yeah.
And get it illegally,
There's
and
always-
it's probably going to be laced with fentanyl, and
man.
then that's just going to make it 10 times worse.
Yeah.
And it probably already is that way. People are selling them somewhere out on the street, but. No, I don't think. I think the only way that you could ever get rid of that is to legalize everything. But but I don't think legalizing everything is the right answer, because I would say then you would have more people trying all kinds of drugs.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, oh, well, it's safe.
It's readily available.
Yeah, I can just go to the store and get it and try it if I want to. And I don't think that's the right move either, but I don't know what the right move is. But
No, I wonder how, was it Oregon done that? Or what?
I don't know who did that.
There was a state that done that.
There's a state that legalized everything? Well, I'd say it's not going very good there.
I think it was Oregon or Washington.
I don't know. I haven't heard that. But I just can't. I can't see that. I can't see that being the right move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree too. But you think about if they did legalize, everything, and they actually start pharmaceutically
Creating it.
Yeah. You imagine how much safer it would be.
I mean, yeah, obviously it's going to be safer, and then there would be a limit on it of how you would get it.
Doesn't mean it's the right answer.
No, I don't think so. I don't know the answer, and honestly, I don't know if there will ever be an answer to that problem, which is sad. But
yeah, I wish the military would legalize marijuana, or would allow people to use it.
Why is that?
Yeah, I'd probably smoke a lot of marijuana, or take a lot of edibles. Because back before I joined, back in the day, I got to a point where, oh my gosh, I'd smoke every single day.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say I would do it for recreational uses. If I could take that and replace like you said, ADHD medication with it. Yeah. I'm sure it's so much safer than that. But yeah, that'll never happen.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm in the mindset I've always been in this mindset is I don't want to depend on something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to do something because I depend on it, and I feel like I can't function without having it.
Yeah.
I don't ever. Yeah, that's
you'll always be a slave to it. Almost. you can't do this, can't do that unless you like, oh, let me take my medicine first. And some people unfortunately have to be that way. Like, they have no choice.
Yep.
But man, it is, yeah, I don't want to, and I've told Taylor this, like, we've had this conversation, like, I don't want to have to depend on, any kind of medication to feel good or to feel normal or to, to be able to function. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to have to rely on that. And yeah, always be a slave to it. And like, if you don't get it, you can't function or you can't feel normal. Like, I hate the thought of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, unfortunately, some people have to live that way. Maybe, they have like a chronic illness or something that, forces them to always be on this medication.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. I hate it. I mean, you either live by taking it or you suffer and go back through the pain without it.
Right.
Dude, I mean, obviously, everybody's going to choose to live with it.
Oh my gosh, I got choked. Dude, what about I know you've seen all this stuff about like the dams breaking and stuff in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And Tennessee. Man, I was looking up some stuff about that the other day. Just curious, and I think I was watching like a video or something, and it led me to it. But gosh, and maybe it was Corey who shared something. It was like a picture of like saying, how I-40 will be closed down until like September of
Yeah, a
next
long time.
year.
Yeah, till 2025.
And then there was another, whatever the other road is.
Yeah.
But somebody had made this post, and it was talking about just how much water hit, like that area, and it was like more water ran through that area than what would go over Niagara Falls in however many days.
It's insane.
Like a crazy amount of water. We have people from church. I think it's pretty awesome. They're taking some stuff down there or over there sometime this week.
Yeah, there was a guy from here that went down there, took Starlink and everything so they could hook to the internet.
Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I seen that.
And
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
man.
that is. Yeah. And I mean, it's like you want to donate to stuff like that.
Yeah.
And because what if it was you?
Right.
I mean, you want people to help, everybody's saying there's so much mixed stuff, dude. That's what sucks about today. Like, you see all this stuff on TikTok and all these social media outlets and stuff like that that's talking about how that it's way worse down there than what they're depicting on TV.
Yeah.
They're like, there's like nurses that we're talking on there. They're like, they're not nowhere near the truth on the death count, because they're like, we're going out and trying to go into remote places and find people, and we're like finding people in trees.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you know how bad that would be, like going down through there trying to find people that were abandoned during all that and have no power or nothing. And you're walking down through the woods and you like see a body up in a tree because the water washed it up into there.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, you want to talk about getting chills.
We were talking about something in Sunday school, and Sunday school teacher, he was like, I mean, could you imagine, like, being stuck on a roof with your family, and then all of a sudden, like, the roof breaks or something, and, like, your family's floating on this side going one way, and you have, like, a child or something on another part floating the opposite way or something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. It made me sick to my stomach thinking about it.
Yeah, no, I watched the video. I didn't even want to, I hadn't thought about it anymore, but now I'm thinking about it. It was this mom and her kid was floating away from her, and she was talking to a news anchor about it.
Oh my gosh.
And she said at the point when he knew I couldn't help him anymore, he just started hollering out for Jesus. And I'm like, dude, that is so sad. I mean, that's so just unreal feeling that you would have, like literally watching your whole life's purpose to take care of, and you promised you'd never let anything bad happen.
Yeah.
Literally just all those things just happen, and there's nothing that you can do about it in that instant.
Oh, that makes me so
It makes
sick.
you so sick, and it makes you so thankful that, like, you don't have to go through that. Like,
Right. And I'm sure
it's
some people, well, you
horrible.
said that woman, like, that was like an actual news clip or something.
Yeah, like I saw it on,
It is crazy, like the amount of like pain that you can feel, like for your child.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like the amount of emotion, like when it comes to your kid, like if something bad or like the thought of losing your kid or your kid gets hurt, like the amount of pain that you and anguish you feel for them.
Yeah, and how you
man.
could ever, and I mean, I know it's a sad reality. I mean, there's people out there that have lost their kids, young and older people that have lost their, kids in their 20s or 30s. I mean, you don't even think of it like as their kid anymore, but still in your parents' eyes, you're still their kid. Like you're still that little kid.
Yeah,
That's the way I view it, and it's just I couldn't imagine. And I was thinking, and I'm like, I don't know if this would work. Me and Kate were actually talking about this. I'm like, what would, kind of like the same scenario what your Sunday school teacher was talking about. It's like, what would you do if we were sitting on top of the house and we just seen water coming, and it was like there's nothing you could do, and it like washes the house away, like, and we're on top of it. And eventually that roof's going to collapse.
Yeah.
We're not going to be up there forever.
You're not going to be able to save everybody.
Yeah. And, dude, you tell me, I mean, you're obviously, I was thinking, I'm like, I don't know how, like, I don't know what you could do in that instance. Like, I felt like if you took if you could somehow, like, if I can't say what I would do in that instance because I don't know how quick it happened. But if if you knew it was if they were letting you know it was fixing to be that bad, or the perfect way you knew it was going to be that bad, how to prepare and everything, is like, I feel like I would get life jackets and try and like strap everyone together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like nobody could get away from one another.
Right.
But like you don't have that time. And I mean, obviously, if they would have known it was going to happen like that, they probably would have done that. They would have done something
been
like
more prepared.
Yeah, but it's just things can happen. Like, I mean, right now we could get hit by a freaking earthquake, and it could be literally like it. I mean, it could be over just right now. No way to prepare for it.
And the only thing that would like bring me any kind of peace in a situation like that, like if I knew, like Kendall's saved, but Carter we're still praying on, but like having, like, if your whole family,
Ready,
they're all saved, they've all accepted Jesus. That would be the only thing that would bring me peace. Some kind of peace in that situation, knowing that, if my family did die, I'll see them again in heaven.
Yeah.
But man, I'll be honest with you, man. That's well, Carter not being saved yet. That eats me alive like every single day.
Yeah.
And man, dude, I've prayed and prayed and prayed, and thought about. If something could happen at any moment, there could be an accident, like they could die in a wreck, and like, oh man,
It'll eat you alive.
dude, it does, man. I've prayed and cried out to God, just please, please, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that kind of situation though, like, gosh, that would, I don't know. There's nothing else you could do.
No, that's the worst part. Knowing that you couldn't fix it.
Yeah.
That's the worst. That would be that's what you would beat yourself up over the most.
Yeah, like I could have. Then you start thinking about, I could have done more. I should have done more. Should have, had more talks about it. This and that, like that would, man. I don't know that I could live with it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. I don't know how I could either, but Like, there's a man I know, and he's older, and I didn't get to know him till a couple years ago, and he lived by himself, and I never questioned it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never thought anything about it. You see somebody like that, and you know, you're just like, you know, they didn't get, you know, something happened, they didn't have kids,
Right.
something like that. You know what I mean? And I was talking to him, and I had to pick him up. We were going somewhere, and I mean, he could drive and stuff, but we were going, you know, going to the same place. So I was like, I'll just pick you up, you can drive with me. So we're going, and I'm just casual talking, you know, trying to get to know him a little better. And I'm like, so I was like, were you ever married? I'm like, did you ever have kids? Anything?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I was married. He said, I was married and I had 2 kids. He said, and my son drove a truck, and he told him for years to get out of the truck, and because there was always something happening, and he was in a wreck. Like, he was in a couple accidents. They weren't his fault, but he was in a couple accidents.
Yeah.
And he was like, just get out of the truck. He was like, just do something else with your life. He was like,
Right.
don't. And he's like, he wouldn't listen. He was like, and he was going somewhere, and the front tire blew out on that truck, and it, if I'm not mistaken, it sent him over a cliff
No.
and killed him. And then his wife was taking him and his other child, or her and her other child, and somebody, I can't remember the exact story, but they got into a car wreck and died.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then he got remarried years later. And that wife died to some illness.
Oh my gosh.
And dude, he's the most humble person you've ever met in your life. And has more faith in God than anybody I have ever met in my life. And just to have that perspective.
After all that.
After all the cards were thrown against you, and it was just meant for you you would think it was just meant for you to live the most miserable life, thinking about that, having that on your heart and mind every day that you woke up. That man still is just one of the most devout Christian people, and I've never heard him say a cross word about anyone or anything. And just to have, I strive.
That's powerful, man.
To have that kind of mentality and that kind of perspective and faith in life. Then, and I mean, I say I can't, but it's obvious, it's possible. But it's just, I just don't know what you do to reach that level of just faith in God and humbleness and knowing that everything happened under His will.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, and I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that probably think, you know, I can never live that way. I can never do that. And it's like, I think about it and I'm like, I don't know. Because if you seen him out, you wouldn't think one of the happiest guys you've ever met in your life.
Yeah.
Always smiling. I've never seen him down.
Despite everything.
Despite everything. Happened. Lives by himself, off out of the way. I go and talk to him. I haven't talked to him here in a little bit because I've been super busy, but
man, that's the Lord right there.
That's crazy, man.
Like, to be able to have that perspective despite everything.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other explanation. That is God.
And it's like, and, you know, throughout life, what I've learned is, you know, whether you believe or not, if you don't believe, I feel like you're going to have an instance that it'll make you believe. But it's just like, if you pray for something, just, who knows, like me, I always said with the kids, I was like, my main thing was, I never had any patience. Like just before that, you know, like I still have short fuse patience on some things. Everybody does. But I'm like, I always prayed for patience. I'm like, God, just teach me how to understand, just to like not to get all worked up about the small things and just let it slide and just easily figure it out. And then we had Pierce and like, you know, his special needs stuff and all that stuff. And, you know, like being 7 years old and still can't talk. And it's just, but he's the happiest kid you've ever met in your life. I've never, I mean, I wish I had the outlook that kid has. And it's just, it's amazing because like I prayed for patience.
It gave you the opportunity.
It gave me the opportunity to learn patience.
Yeah.
And he also put that man in my life that taught me that patience is attainable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, man, that's wild.
It's just like, you know, you don't think about it all the time, the way that God does put people in your life and does little tweaks and turns.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it at the time, but like when you sit down at night and you really reflect, like, and you think, you're like, I'm getting what I prayed for.
Yeah.
I'm getting it. It might not be the way I want it.
Right.
But I'm going to learn it and I'm going to get it. I'm getting that lesson taught to me right now.
Man, you said that getting what you prayed for. It makes me think about like my current situation. Like I remember years back. Well, not, you know, almost 5 years now. But like I prayed so hard to be in the spot I'm in exactly right now, and I've never, since I got what I wanted, I've never experienced more like anxiety and depression being in it.
Yeah.
Like, being in this spot. And I was talking to Taylor about this as soon as we got out of church. I was like, you know, it's crazy. I was like, the spot I'm in now, I prayed so hard to be in years ago. And it's like, and I got what I prayed for. And it's not at all, you know, what I thought. And it's kind of like God showing me, like, okay, I gave you what you prayed for, and it's kind of like showing, like, oh, so you don't always know what's best. I gave you what you prayed for, you got it your way. So now let's do it, you know, now let's do it my way, in a sense, you know?
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, I think about that often. Like, oftentimes, like, if I'm having a rough day, I'm like, well, remember, you know, you prayed for this.
Yeah, deal with it.
And so, yeah, so it's like, you know, be careful what you pray for, because you just might get it all.
Yeah, yeah. I've always said that. There was one time a man told me, he said, you know, he's like, there's people, I can't remember exactly what we got talking about. I was like, you know, I said something, and I was like, I can't remember what it was over. I wish I could, because it would be better. But I said along the lines of like, you know, I would ask God for this, and I would do anything to get it. And he was like, hold up. And he was like, just stop where you're at. I said, what do you mean? He was like, sometimes that anything. But sometimes when you say you'll do anything to get it, might be the one thing that you do not want to do.
Yeah.
Or it might be giving up something that you do not want to lose. I was like, he might take away everything that you love to give you that, to make you realize that you didn't want that. And then he will teach you that lesson the hard way.
And it just goes to show that we don't know what's best for us, you know, for ourselves, even though, you know, in that particular moment, we might think that if I could just get this job, or if I could just do this and this, I would be happy. And then you do that, or you get that job, and you're not happy, you know, in doing that, instead of, you know, just, you know, listening to God and, you know, praying about, you know, His will being done in your life. And, you know, obviously, you know, He knows what's best for us.
Yeah. And like, it's, I don't know, you have a thought from when you're younger of what you want your life to be, and what, like, as you're growing up. Like for me, as an example, like I didn't want anything to do with farming. Hated it with a passion. Didn't. I wanted to get, like, I was always into, psychology and stuff.
Yeah.
Like all how the human mind works, and like how like the certain mental diseases and how it makes people react the way that they do. I still do. I still find that extremely fascinating.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I was sitting there and I was talking to somebody when I was going into college, and I was going in for psychology. And there was a guy, I can't remember who, if it was in a class or somebody that I'd met on campus. And they were like, we got to talking about that, and they were like, I thought about that too. And it was like, I talked to a psychiatrist that to kind of get more insight on it. And he was like, if you're going to do this job and do it like a public practice, he was like, I just want you to be prepared. You're not just going to talk to the people that have, mental illness. You're not going to talk to the people that just deal with anxiety or postpartum depression or therapy of some sort or anything like that. He was like, you're going to have to deal with people talking about how they were, and he's like, you're going to have to deal with kids that have went through a lot of stuff that you didn't never think you'd want to listen to. He's like, let me tell you this. He said, unless you want to become an alcoholic and drink yourself to sleep every night, he's like, I suggest you change.
Wow.
And he was like, but if that's something that you're passionate about, he was like, we need passionate people about it. He was like, but that's the main thing that nobody thinks about. And at that point, I went online to my portal and changed my degree.
I
didn't think about that at all.
I never thought about that.
And I went into agriculture, and just something was like, just go into agriculture and then we can figure it out later.
Yeah.
I was like, that. You grew up around it. You can take classes and figure it out. Well, the more I did it, the more I realized that what I thought I hated was just like my life taking a full 360 and coming right back around to it.
Yeah.
And now that's what I do for a living.
Do you ever regret it?
It's just like anything else. There's days that I wish I wouldn't, because I don't really get many days off.
Yeah.
I don't, I work a lot, and that causes a lot of problems. Like schedules and stuff, like to do with the wife and kids and things like that. But I mean, would I change it? Probably not, because if I sat in an office chair, or if I sat in somebody else's, say I worked for a construction company or a chemical company, or that was my plan. My plan was to get out and go work for a chemical place down in Tennessee, and but being on somebody else's time, and doing all that was just not in the cards for me. And I've went this way, and I don't think that I would change anything. There's ups and downs in it for sure, but there's a whole lot of freedoms that come with it that you don't really think of. If I do want to take off a day and go do something, and it's not something important, extremely important, like harvesting and stuff, I can't. That's a time of the year. Like, I can't just quit and go do that.
That's only like a select time.
Yeah, that's a select time. But any other time, really, I can find a week or two window. If I want to take a vacation, take a vacation. Or if the kids have something, kids have something at school. Okay, the kids have a meeting at school. Kate's self-employed. I'm self-employed. Yeah. We just quit, and she reschedules, and then I just drop what I'm doing, or have somebody that helps us be like, hey, could you finish this off? I got to run and do this for a little bit. I'll come back, or if not, that's fine. I'll just pick up where I left off. That's a big bonus.
Yeah, not being on someone else's time. Gosh.
Like if you wanted to just literally, if I wanted to just come home and take a nap, I could just come home and take a nap.
Right.
I mean, obviously I don't,
Yeah.
but I mean, if I wanted to, I could.
Yeah, like if you have a day like you're sick or something, you don't have to worry about taking a sick day.
No, I just come home
And
turn on the TV, fix me something to eat, change clothes, and lay back.
man, I try to think about that sometimes. Like, if I could start a business, or if I could be my own boss, start my own company, my own business, like what would I do?
Hard to think of, isn't it?
It really is, because like there's so many things I would love to do, like woodworking. Like I love woodworking. Like if I had my own wood shop, like
Doing like cabinets, custom cabinetries and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like getting started and all that is like, an immense amount of money. And then, which I've already have like a lot of tools, but I mean, obviously I would need more.
Yeah.
But to be able to make a living off that, oh, that'd be so hard. And to match like, what I currently make.
Yeah.
Man.
I know people that do it. I mean, it's just kind of that saying. It's like, it's really it's when you're prepared for the jump.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, like I've always, sometimes you're not prepared for it.
Right.
But, I've done a lot of different things throughout my adult life. I've had different jobs, working for people and working for myself, and which I work, it's a family thing. I work with my father, and we farm together and stuff. He kind of has his thing, I kind of have mine. We do it all together, And but yeah, I wouldn't change it. I mean, and like if I see, I'm sure I've done things that on my own side that I tried that I thought, if I could get into more of this, I might slow down on some of the other. So I would take a big leap and try it.
Yeah.
And I might make some money and do it just a little bit here and there. Or I went into some things and lost like a pile of money.
Yeah.
And had to sell stuff that I had paid for to pay for that. And that's the part that people don't see.
Right. But
it's so rewarding.
Yeah. Especially if it does, like,
you work way more.
Like
you think you don't.
Like you take a big leap like that, and it actually works out, and
yeah.
And I don't guess, I guess it wouldn't work out, or doesn't work out like every single time, but having like the courage to, to be able to like
prove to yourself that you can do it. It's not, it's all just,
that's pretty rewarding in itself.
Yeah. Because your biggest holdback is your mind. Like you hold yourself back in your mind, like, oh, what if this happens? What if that? Who cares? But at this point, that's what gets you. It's like at this point in life, you got kids and a wife and a house and cars and debt and all this stuff. And it's like, oh gosh, if this doesn't work out, like what all is going to be the downfall to this?
See, that's like where I get stuck. I'll sit there and like talk my way out of doing something I truly want to do, thinking about the what ifs.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, it's just like anything else, like just starting small. Just put out there, you could do like small little jobs and kind of do your regular job, but then it's always, and I find this true, extremely true, you'll work twice as hard at your passion as you will at your job.
Heck yeah.
And like when I would work somewhere else, it'd be like, this would be all right. I'll just do this. I'll come back tomorrow and finish it. It's whatever. It'll be here tomorrow. I'll come back. And leave. 5 o'clock, leave. Now, like farming or whatever, I get up at 5 every morning, and there's plenty of nights that I'm not home till midnight.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't consider it work.
Right.
Like it's work, but I don't consider it that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I enjoy it. Like I enjoy doing what I do. Of course, there's times I'm working on something, I'm like, God, I wish this thing would just burn to the ground. And, but like there's a lot of times that I'm like, when I'm doing something and everything's going right and everything's running smooth and it's just all the machinery's working the way it should and not having to get out and check everything, and I'm just sitting there riding, making sure all my numbers and stuff are staying right or whatever. And I could sit there for till there's nights that I've went at like 8 o'clock and got an energy drink and drink it after I went to a ball game, stopped, went to a ball game, watched a ball game, got something to eat, left the ball game, stopped and got an energy drink, chugged it, and got back in just so I could stay awake for like 6 more hours just to do a little bit more.
And you don't see it as like you don't dread it.
No,
it's like you don't see it as work.
No, not at all.
You're passionate about. That's so true. What you said about you'll like your work twice as hard at your passion.
Yeah, it does eat in. Dude. It does eat into your family time, and yeah, my wife can attest to that because she gets very angry that I'm not home.
But it's not every.
No, it's not all the time. But I don't take off Saturdays. I don't have a free Saturday.
Yeah.
I guess I could, but to me, that's just a day that I've lost. And a day that I've lost is a day that I'm not going to get back.
Yeah.
But also, it gets you too because you need to find a work-life balance.
Right.
But when you're trying to do something in volume, when there's only so many hours in the day, and there's only a certain window to do it.
Yeah.
You take full advantage of said window,
Right.
And during the summer and stuff, yeah, I can go. I go to plenty of travel ball games. I do all that. But during harvest and planting and stuff like that, no.
Yeah.
You can basically, the only day I have at home is Sundays. And I try to, some Sundays I do some other stuff, but I try to devote that to family. I don't do anything else on a Sunday most days. Go to church, go get something to eat, come home.
Yeah.
Hang out at the house. That's about it. But every other day, yeah, you're up at 5.
Man.
And you're gone.
Well, what you said about there's not enough hours in the day, the older I get, I find myself, just thinking that all the time because there's so many things I want to get done or I want to do.
Yep.
Chipping up all those trees and stuff. Well,
you get started, you hate quitting.
Oh, yeah, man.
You're getting a rhythm.
You really do. And then I'll stop, sharpen the blades for a second, and right back at it. And I don't even really see that as work because I enjoy it for some reason.
Yeah.
And cutting up tree limbs. But whatever I need to do around the house, I have so many things that I need to get done that there's just not enough time to get them all done and spend time with the family and get to bed at a decent hour.
Yeah,
Damn.
For sure. It is. It's troubling. And when you're doing something you want to finish, my thing was okay, when we built an addition onto our home, I paid as much as I could out of my own pocket, and I only borrowed what I had to.
Yeah.
And I also tried to do as much as I could, and it would be I would come home from working at 7:30. Say I'd come in a little earlier or something. There wouldn't have been in the summertime. 7:30. It sounds late, but 7:30 you still got 2 hours of 2 hours of daylight.
Yeah.
And I would come in at 7:30 and get something to eat or whatever. And I would just sit there and I would look over here at the addition. And I would be man, I would get up early and start on it and do some stuff of it. And then days that I could sit back and I'd spend days working here.
Yeah.
And then I'd come home late at night some nights and I'd be I'm not tired yet. And be I've got that on my mind. And I'm the type of person, when it's on my mind, it's not going to be off my mind until I get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And I would come in there and literally I would lay floor till late at night. And I didn't have knee pads.
Oh my!
And I would scoot around on that subfloor with no knee pads until my knees were literally, my pants would be soaked in blood.
Gosh, it'd make you feel like you're working the red light district or something.
Yeah. And dude, I'll never forget, there was one time, it was the final line, I was going through there and there was a nail pop that came up through it. And I stuck my knee right on it. And it went through, it went into my knee. And I pulled over, my knee swelled up. My whole knee swelled up. I couldn't walk for 2 days.
Bet you bought some knee pads.
I bought knee pads. Yeah, after that, I bought knee pads. And I was like, that's the end of that. But yeah, I'm just, and that's on anything. Like, that's just not one thing. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. I get so hyper focused on something.
Yeah.
Like, I swear, I don't care what it is. If I'm doing it and I want it done, dude, I will not quit until I'll quit eventually because I'll just start getting so frustrated.
Yeah.
That I can't. And then I'll just come back to it the next day. But yeah, man, like if I'm hooking up, like I'll buy something and like some sort of like for a tractor or something, like a planner. I bought a planner and I was trying to get the computers wired up and the main computer wired up that runs the planner and making sure everything works. And dude, I would sit there and work on it till I couldn't even see. I'd be sitting there holding my phone in my mouth with a flashlight because I'd be in the middle of just middle of a field, like trying to sit there and fix it. And I'd be like, man, that's just not going to happen tonight. And I'd finally have to talk to myself and be like, listen, it's just time to go home. And I'll wake up in the middle of the night and think, I'd be like, if I could do that different.
Yeah, and figure it out, laying in bed.
Yeah. And then I'll sit there and think of it, and I'll wake up next morning, first thing, I'm gone. Like, I'm ready to go up there and take off.
Can't wait to get over there and see if it'll work.
And I'm just that way. And I feel like people that are that way are the type of people that are meant to do their own thing. Because you're never going to be that passionate about what you're doing. Unless you can't, some people are that passionate about their job. And those are the people that excel at their job.
Yeah.
But
they have to somewhat enjoy.
Yeah, but if you don't enjoy it and you're just doing it just because you have to do it to survive, like, yeah, you could work at your main job that provides for you during the day. And then, you pulled that, yeah. And then, like, at night, like, take 3 or 4 hours and spend time with your family. And then, or take 3 or 4 hours and do work on that task that you're wanting to start doing yourself, and then spend time with family and do it like 2 or 3 nights a week or something. But my thing is like, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't have a limit. Like, I don't want to set a limit.
You
like,
find it hard to like get it find a stopping point.
Yeah. I'm never satisfied.
I have a trouble finishing, like, I don't know, like finding a stopping point.
Yeah, that's my problem. I'm like, if I can just get to here, I'll quit for that time.
Then you get to there.
And then boy, I got there quicker than what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on a little bit.
Yeah, man.
And the next thing you know, it's 2 a.m. Well, I guess I need to go to bed.
You're out there in your yard chipping up sticks with a wood chipper at 2
a.m. There was one night, me and Seth, we started on building a swing set for the kids. And he came out there to help me. And we started, it was like 7 o'clock. I was like, this will take us a couple hours. I don't think it'll take much longer. And we got to put it together. And I mean, it wasn't because it was just a lot more to it than what we thought.
Yeah.
And I was like, Kate was like, why don't y'all just come back and do it later? I was like, no. I was like, I'm not quitting.
You can't stop.
I ran the batteries down on my truck because that's the only lights that I had. And I had it out there, just the key turned on, and I had a little single cab 5-speed Toyota. I don't think you ever seen that truck.
No, I don't think so.
And it was like a 98. And
that's a goat right there.
Oh, dude, I drove the fire out of that thing. And the frame started rusting. That's the reason I sold it. If it didn't, I would have kept it till today.
Yeah.
And it would die, and I had it aimed down the hill so that if it did die,
you roll start
I could roll start it.
Yeah.
And bring it back up there and turn the lights back on.
Man, that's the nice thing about 5 speeds. Manuals, being able to roll start it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I looked for one of them here the other day, actually. I was like, I might buy another one. I was like, just to have one. I was like, because I would drive the fire out of that thing. I'm like, I couldn't do anything with it now. I really need I don't really need I've got a truck, a crew cab that is nice, and I could pull everything I need to pull with.
Yeah.
But I'm like, here a while back, my truck went down. I had to put it in the shop and get it fixed, and it was down for like, I don't know, it was there for a little bit longer than what I expected, and I had to borrow one of my dad's trucks, and I was like, man, it would be nice if I just had like a little something just to kind of drive around.
Yeah, a little single cab, small truck.
Yeah. Or I was like, even if something like if Kate's car has to go in the shop, something that all the kids could get in, like just like a SUV or something, like a 4Runner or something like that. You know?
Oh, yeah, that's
what I mean?
perfect, dude.
Something like that. Or something like a little, or something just to go somewhere in, like a little sporty SUV or something like that. But like, I'm like, I start looking at prices. I'm like, nah, I ain't paying that for something just to sit there.
Yeah. Well, I'll never buy a new vehicle. Like once my car finally goes down, like I'll probably buy like a single cab truck, like a Toyota or something.
Yeah.
A little Ford Ranger or something.
Yeah.
But man, have you recharged the AC like on a vehicle newer than like 2018?
Yeah, you got the Y1234F, and it's extremely expensive.
R1234, Y.
Yeah.
F.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I thought Taylor's Yukon, the AC had been blowing warm. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, I'll just recharge it. I already had 2 hoses. I wasn't aware that everything new now takes that kind.
Yeah.
So I tried to put the hose on there. I already had a can of Freon.
Yeah.
I tried to put the hose on there. It's like, maybe I've got the wrong side. Maybe this is the high side. I was like, no, this is the low side for sure.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe it takes a different style plug. I get to look and it takes that new kind. I'd heard people say it was expensive.
Crazy expensive.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I could have filled up like, something that took R134 for like $10.
Yeah.
It cost me like $85 and that was for a small cam.
Yeah. And did you have to buy the connector for it too?
I had to buy the hose.
Yeah. It's stupid.
And I was like, well, I'm sure they make adapters for little or nothing. Oh, they make adapters for $60.
Yeah.
It's like, you kidding me?
Yeah, dude, it's insane. I went through that same thing with one of Kate's cars because that Subaru we had, I don't know if you remember that. We had a Subaru.
White one?
Yeah, that white Subaru. I love that car. She wasn't much a fan of it. I love that car. And, but it took that. And there was a rock that bounced up off the road or something and went through the condenser. And I didn't know it.
Oh, wow.
And I bought 2 cans of that 1, 2, 3, 4. Or, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's like you ever take out a second mortgage?
Dude, it was insane.
Gosh.
And I put it in there, and all of a sudden I heard it spewing out the bottom. I was like, oh, my God.
There goes $80.
Because I didn't know the hole was there. I thought it just got low. But, yeah, my truck still takes R34. And then I don't know if...
So your truck still...
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah. Pretty sure. It might not. I'll look. It's a 19.
Apparently by 20... Well, maybe I read this wrong. Supposedly by 2025, maybe it's all new vehicles have to have that.
I don't know.
I think that was something I was reading because I was looking into it. I was like,
some of them moved. Some of them went to it. I don't know. I've never had to charge my AC system. I'll have to look. But I thought it was 134, but it might not be. I don't know. I've not looked, and I don't know about her. I don't know about her new car. I don't know because we traded that Subaru off. I've not looked at it.
Yeah, I could have read that wrong, but
it could be takes 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think like 2018 was like
2, 3, whatever it is,
like 2018 and above.
Yeah,
but yeah, it is stupid.
Well, if that's the case, then my truck takes it. I haven't looked. I've never had to recharge it.
Well, if you
I know it's freaking expensive.
I've got a hose you can use.
I was gonna say because I don't know where my hose is because I used it there for a little bit, and I was like, "Oh man, I don't know." I'm
so mad about that too. Stupid.
They're always gonna find a way to get you. That's one thing I've learned. Every time you think you're gonna get ahead, they're gonna take you 2 steps back.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
All in the name of global warming.
Yeah.
Because it's more environmentally friendly.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all a hoax to me, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. What did you I'm sure you watched the debate. Did you watch that vice president debate?
I didn't. I haven't even seen any. I meant to go back and watch it, but I never have, and I forgot all
I'm
about
gonna be
it.
honest. I watched it because I was just curious to see what it was gonna be like, and I was so glad to see something have some structure.
Yeah, I seen people commenting, talking about how it was much more like civil, almost
Oh
like
yeah, for sure on both sides, and like I mean Wall. I mean, there for a little bit. I mean, I seen some stuff talking about it, but I mean, there for a little bit. I thought by the end of it, Walls was going to vote for Vance and Trump.
oh yeah,
I mean, he was sitting over a lot of times. He was sitting there shaking his head when Vance was saying stuff.
yeah,
And
he's right. He's right.
yeah, and but like it was just so just like formal and like there was no bickering back and forth. It was like statements. I mean, Vance, in my opinion, I mean Vance mopped the floor with him. I mean, he did really good. But
I'm gonna go back and watch it tonight.
he did really good. And but I don't know. I was just glad to see something like that, like an actual formal thing. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. If Vance ran and if him and Trump didn't get it, and Vance decided to run by himself, I think that I think he would. I really think he would get it because he is on top of his game. He was fact checking the moderators.
Oh really?
Yeah. And
Were
like,
they?
And they were. I don't know.
Were they biased?
I mean, I don't know.
Kind of like
In ways you felt like they were, but in ways you felt like they weren't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I mean, I just feel like there's always something like because like okay, like because Trump got shot that second time, or got an attempted assassination the second time, and there wasn't really hardly anything
Any news
talked
coverage
about
or
it.
anything?
Yeah,
Right?
it was like well, he didn't even shoot at him. Yeah,
It's practically nothing.
yeah, yeah.
That is crazy.
You know, look at this dog swim. You know what I mean? It's like that's how it was, and it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that is true because I never seen anything about it. I had to go whenever I heard about it. I had to go look it up because, like, I didn't. It's like,
And that's insane that it's to that point.
Right.
Like, it's like I was listening to I can't remember whose podcast it was. But they were talking about the time that they think that media presence has left. They were like, I feel like you give it 3 years, and I don't think there'll be a CNN. I don't think there'll be a MSNBC, a CBS, a Fox, anything. Well, I mean, I don't know. Because, I mean, like, look at all the podcasts and stuff. Like, Tucker Carlson has his own.
Yeah.
Megyn Kelly
Like, who
has
actually
her own.
watches
Everybody
the
goes.
news?
Everybody goes to, like, TikTok and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's all, I mean, when it's all owned by the same people that are pushing these, you're not going to talk bad about them. Because if you do, you're going to lose your job.
Yeah, if it wasn't so biased, like if they didn't have like an agenda, one way or the other, I feel like more people, and they reported actual news, like,
yeah,
then I feel like more people would watch the news.
Pick your mic up.
But the way that it's, but the way that it's like so biased towards like a certain agenda, like nobody wants to watch that.
No, not at all. And I mean, there are some people that want to. They're older people. I feel like that's still where you go into an older person's home and they've got, I know some older people that have Fox News or whatever. I don't know anybody.
They believe
CNN
every
and all that
bit
stuff.
of it. They
They eat it up. And I'm like, well, I'm like, that's partial. There's some of that true. I was like, but there's also
can't tell them any different.
No, I was like, I don't know what'll end up happening. That's just usually my line. I'm like, I don't know what'll end up happening.
Yeah.
Like, I'll tell you what happened. The country's going to hell in a handbasket.
My grandma, she's the world's worst. She will believe every single thing they put out on there. She thinks Trump is the devil.
Really?
Yeah, she compares him to Vladimir Putin. She's like, he's pretty much him and Putin were best friends.
So she's gonna vote for Kamala.
I don't even know. Yeah, she probably will.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, she
Oh
doesn't.
well, people can do what they want to do. It's a free country.
Yeah, but just the way that she believes everything, and like, I don't know, like, it's like whatever they say, you're like, oh yeah, it's true.
It makes me so mad.
Yeah, and you can't argue. You can't tell them nothing.
No, you can't. You can't. And until they get, oh man, it's like when an older person gets social media,
Oh.
they'll believe anything.
Yeah,
They don't know the difference between Photoshop and actual. They'll be like, did you see that president went down there and swam across a lake to save a duck?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's because he had an injured wing or something. And they'd be like, it was true, I saw it.
Yeah, Joe
You
Biden,
can't argue with him.
He swam a half mile. Go rescue this pigeon.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of them carrier pigeons. Not a note.
Joe Biden ain't swimming nowhere.
Yeah.
Unless he's swimming with a fish.
His brain's just swimming around up there. But
Yeah.
that's about it. But yeah, I don't know. I have no right to tell anyone which way to go, and I don't want to. That's your own opinion. You do what you want.
Yeah.
But I don't think, me personally, I don't think that 4 more years of what we have is the ideal thing.
No.
I don't think the way everything is, because like when I'm spending as much money as I am on groceries and everything else,
Holy smokes.
and how much I had to pay in taxes at the end of last year, like it's just, I mean, obviously I can do it, but it's just, holy crap. It's like it's like you have nothing left anymore.
No.
Like you have no way, like you can put it, like I mean, I don't have a 401k. Everybody says their 401ks were going through the roof these past couple of years. But
Ooh.
I don't have anything like that, and I don't see that. And all I see is the more money come out of what I make.
Yeah. You can't see it looking at 401ks and stuff. Like, you can't see the inflation, like, going to the groceries, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, you witness it firsthand.
Yeah. It's like, everybody, it's just people say their 401ks have really grew and like their retirements and things like that. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm glad for those people. But like, I'm out here, I don't have a retirement. I have to come up with my own plan, and, you don't really get to start on that plan, being young and being self-employed.
Yeah.
You don't really get to do that till you get a little bit older.
Yeah.
I'm just now on like the downward slope of getting started. So like maybe in the next 6 years, I'll probably be able to get really, really invested in that,
Yeah.
But as far as doing anything now, I'm worried about getting like my home paid for and all that
Right.
kind of stuff. I'm not trying to put away money in something for my future when I could pay. I know that might sound kind of stupid, but in my mind, I would rather pay off the things that I have, like my home and my business and all that kind of stuff, get out of debt on that.
Yeah.
And then worry about that, because when my home and my business is out of debt, then I don't have a house payment.
That's more money you can put
That's
back
more money
then.
I can put back
Yeah.
there. And then my business, I don't have to put the money that I was putting into it then. So then I can take all that money,
Right.
the extra money that I can pull from that,
Yeah.
and put into my future. And
That's right.
I've kind of started thinking like about, Roth IRAs and things like that. And
Yeah.
that's kind of my idea. And which, I mean, there's like a limit on that. I think you can only put like $6,000 in there a year, I believe. I might be wrong, but I think it's like maximum of like $6,000 or $7,000 a year.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But that's kind of my retirement plan, is to do something like that. And then obviously the investments that I have made in my business and things like that. I mean, my business can carry on for, golly, until basically, I guess, until something happens, if they cut me off or if I want to stop. Because, I mean, there's people that have been doing this for 35, 40 years.
Yeah, and I don't foresee like it ever being something that's going to go out of, like,
people are always going to have to eat.
Yeah,
that's one thing that automation will never be able to fix. You cannot take a robot and grow cattle.
Hey, they started making that artificial meat.
Yeah, but
it is great.
Oh, I bet it is.
I never tried it.
Shoot, I wouldn't eat it. Good day.
You gotta get you like a life insurance policy or something.
Oh, I looked into that. I had a guy come out, get a not a term.
A whole life.
Yeah. I looked into that, and I could pull from it. After so many years, I could pull from it interest free, and like I didn't have to pay it back interest free, tax free. I didn't have to pull anything back from it.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I also, it was through that company TransUnion, I think is who it was through. And I was like, I could do that. I was like, but also, there was another one of those things. I was like, do I want to put that money in here a year? Or do I want to put that money towards something else and pay that something else off?
Yeah.
And keep it. That's where I get into trouble at. I'm like, I don't just split the difference. I know, like half. Like I go all in on one thing to get that took care of.
Yeah.
And then once that thing's took care of, then I'll put to the, I'll figure that out. I mean, you always got to try and keep a little savings and stuff built up to try and keep you along the way, in case something happens. But
rainy day. See, I got mine through Northwestern Mutual. I think that's the name of it. But anyways, it's like $62. Yeah, like $62 and some change a month, and it's like a $50,000 death benefit. But after a certain point, like you put that money in, it starts, all the investment. What do they call that? Compound
interest.
Yeah.
And
then you can borrow against it, and
that's what I told him. I was like, if I do it, mine was for a lump sum, and I was just thinking that the amount I was going to pay, and I was paying it yearly is how I was doing it. And the amount that I was going to pay was just a pretty penny.
Yeah,
for the
I'd
time.
imagine.
And I was like, I don't want to do that right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've got other things that I can invest it in. And he was just quoting me all these high numbers because I don't know. I really don't know. He was just quoting me all these high numbers. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. Because it was like because I kind of told him what I wanted. I was like, I wanted to be able to pull from, if I needed to pull like money out of it and say, go buy a car and put the money back in.
Yeah.
I was like, I would want that. And I get, things like that, tax free, because that's a big deal. And I guess that's why he quoted me those high numbers. But after that, I just kind of got out of the notion of it. And
he'd blow your phone up.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't leave me alone.
Twice a week.
Twice a day. Gosh. And I finally his boss called me, and he was like, hey,
what do we need
he said
to make this happen?
No, this dude was like legit. This dude was cool. He was like, hey, I understand. This dude's probably been, this agent's been blowing your phone up, hasn't he? I said, yeah. He said, I understand. He's like, he can be very overwhelming at times. He said, do you want the policy right now or not? I said, no. I told him, I was going to wait till the fall or the winter before I made my decision. I said, it's the last of August. I told him it was going to be near winter. And I said, he's done calling me, wanting to know, telling me I need to make this decision. He's like, listen, you don't have to make this decision right now. He was like, if you want it in the winter, you call us. He's like, you want it next year? You call us. He's like, you want it the next year? You call us. He's like, we got all your information. We'll just rerun it. We'll change something if we need to change something.
Yeah.
He was like, other than that, man, he's like, I'll tell him to back off. And
buddy, you need to train him.
And I was like, all right. I was like, well, I appreciate that. He's like, no problem. He was like, but if you need it, just call us and we'll just enlist everything, send you papers, redo the numbers, you sign it, we're good to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, thank you. He's like, I'm sorry about that. And I was like, no problem. And it was an older guy. And it's just the old door-to-door, I guess, on him. Like, I don't know. But
Man, isn't it nice, after dealing with somebody who's like so persistently trying to get you to buy this, and you finally got somebody like, all right, do you want it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Like, no. Okay, great. When you do, call us.
Yeah, dude, that's so nice. And oh gosh, it's just I can't. That's kind of like how it was in the knife game when I was selling. And it's like, you want the knife or not? I'll cut my finger off to prove to you it's sharp.
Like, I'll cut your finger off. You don't buy this knife.
Yeah. And then it's like, nah, I don't want one. It's too expensive. But like, all right, I'm going home. And then the guy called me, my main boss, he'd be like, hey, you sold any knives yet? Nah, I ain't sold not one. You've been doing this for 3 weeks and you've sold nothing yet. I'm like, nah. I'm like, man, I think it's just too expensive. And I was like, everybody won't go and nobody wants to buy it.
This guy had me convinced I could sell 1,000 knives.
Dude, I thought I was going to Hawaii. Yeah, I thought I was going to the Bahamas, baby. I was like, man, I'm 19. I'll sell some knives. And I'm going to freaking... And I'm going to the Bahamas, baby. And yeah, I couldn't even sell freaking 2 knives. Man. Dude was a liar. I know how he got his job.
Dude, sales that is such a hard job. I guess that's why I hated recruiting.
Door to door. I think I could, like car salesman, stuff like that. Oh, dude, I could do that. Yeah. I know I could. Not an ounce in my being.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's more difficult.
But going door to door, dude,
with knives, robbing people.
Yeah, yeah. But oh man, that's a different animal. Getting somebody to let you in their home and do stuff. I mean,
oh yeah,
like that's just like to show them. Yeah, be like, hey, honey, there's a guy here selling knives, and you come out and you see a 19-year-old in a 3-piece suit. But yeah, it's just I don't know.
Yeah,
that was a different gig. I don't think I would ever want to. I don't recommend that to anyone. And I mean, anybody like that Rainbow guy that I screwed around with there and made him think he was getting a sale until midnight, made him leave without a sale because he got on my nerves. Shout out to you guys, because if you would have done it to me, I'll probably hit you in the mouth.
Yeah, that would be like being a car salesman would be, I feel like, so much easier because people are coming to you who are already interested in buying a new car.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, having to like blow people's phones up.
I see. I'm just not that type. I'm not a person that's like that wants to be like that.
Yeah,
like I don't like.
I don't want to have to convince you to do something or to buy. Yeah, something.
Yeah, because I mean, like if you got to convince them, like you're trying to talk them into it, and then like they buy it against their will. I mean, you basically just sexually abused them into buying a knife. You know what I mean?
He held me at knife point and told me to buy the knife he was holding against me.
I mean, that's just the way I see it. I mean, that's a dirty game.
And pyramid schemes. They'll get you.
They will. They'll get you in there. And that one guy, he just couldn't get out. I mean, he looked miserable. My boss did.
Oh, I guarantee.
And he was like in his 20s, and he was like. And he was like going through all this, and I'll never forget somebody asking him one time. He was like, "How many knives have you sold?" And he was like,
37.
He was like, "I sold a bunch." He's like, "But it took me a long time to get to that point." He's like, "I finally got to a point that I had people, recurring customers." He's like, "What the problem is?" He's like, "It's just like what you said about cars. You got to get a base out there of people that know you sell it and know what the quality is."
Yeah,
and then they'll call you.
Right,
reorders, or
but
they're
getting to that point.
Getting to that point was insanely hard.
I can imagine.
It was stupid. Like it was just, like one knife was like $65.
Oh my! Were they even good knives?
Oh yeah, I still got 3 of them.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Did you steal them?
No, you got to keep them. When you bought in, you bought like a set, just for like showing.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I still got them. Like, dude, they're good. Kate uses them all the time. She talks about how good they are. I mean, I was like, I know they are, baby. I sold them, baby. So,
Shout out Cutco.
yeah, shout out Cutco, sponsor us. I'll sell some knives on here, baby. I'll sell some.
We'll be like the QVC.
Yeah, of knives, of podcasting.
I wonder what that stands for in QVC.
Quick, I don't know. Never have thought about that. Never watched it, but yeah, I need to call because they'll sharpen them. You can send them to them and they'll resharpen them. They'll reblade. They'll rehandle them. They're lifetime warranty.
Really?
I need to get a hold of them because they need to be sharpened.
Dang.
Yeah.
You got to sell some knives to me.
I got a paring knife. I need to relog in. But I got a paring knife and two serrated knives, and I had a pair of scissors that would cut through a penny.
What?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I broke it trying to cut through a quarter.
Quarter's the limit.
Yeah. I was like, this penny ain't nothing. Let's see a sucker cut through a quarter. And I put it in there and I squeezed it and snap.
Oh, that's pretty impressive, though. Cut through a penny.
Yeah. Yeah. It would. You could take a penny and shove it all the way, open the scissors up, put it back in the crease, and snap it. And you could do it with one finger. You could cut a penny in half.
What?
Yeah, seriously.
That
they
is
were
impressive.
good. I don't know if DJ still got his. DJ sold Cutco knives with me. We talked about that on that episode of the podcast.
Did he sell a bunch?
I don't think he sold but one either. It was hard. It was a hard gig. Times were tough. Yeah, but yeah, they are, dude. They're good. They're extremely good. But like a set, it was crazy. This was back in 2013. A set of Cutco knives, like for a block, and the sharpener, and like a set of like steak knives and bread knife and all the knives, was like $1,600.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it had lifetime warranty on all the knives. Sharpening, like you send it to Cutco, they'll sharpen it and send it back to you. If the handle breaks, you send it into them, they'll replace the handle, everything. But like, I also thought about buying a whole set one time when after I got married, because we went through like 2 knife sets.
Yeah.
And I was like, because they just broke. And I'm like,
what are you doing with these knives?
huh? Boy, I'm out here.
Trying to put them through
I cut down a tree with one bread knife. And I was out here using it as a limb saw. And, I was like, you buy it once and those would last you the rest of your life. But like, also you could buy like 60 Farberware sets.
Yeah.
For like $70 a pop.
Yeah. That's definitely what I'm doing.
Well, not 60, but like, you could make 4 sets of those last you till you were 60 and still be under the count.
I think we've had the same knife set for probably 10 years now.
Yeah, we've had the same knife set for...
And we have like 2 knives, not even from that set.
Yeah.
That's all we use.
Yeah, that's what we've got. We've got one of those sets with the block that's got like the big knife, I don't even know what you call it, and then the...
Butcher knife.
Yeah, and then the cut,
knife.
I don't remember all the names of them. But yeah, we've got them all, and all the steak knives and everything. And then I've got the paring knife from Cutco, and then the serrated edge knives. And
what's
then
a paring knife?
one of those small ones, like you.
Oh, like you would
cut a
pear with?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and like
I feel like an idiot.
They had a you use it like people like peel potatoes and stuff with them, and peel an apple. And all that stuff.
Yeah, I know what you're
like
talking
you
about
take
now.
it. It's just that small one, like where you can take your hand. And boy, you better watch out. They sharpen that thing. You put that thumb on against that apple, and you sitting there coming towards you, trying to pull that apple. You let that sucker slip, and bam, you done cut a main vein. You bleeding out. Cutco, cut me. That's what their slogan should be.
I was thinking about you saying you cut your finger on one of the little house calls you went to or whatever.
Yeah, I did that at your mom's. Isn't that? And that's not a joke.
At my mom's?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I didn't mention that part. I forgot that. I forgot that I didn't mention that. Yeah.
I don't remember
that. I bled like crazy. You weren't there. You were at work. And I went there, and yeah.
Well, I guess it's a good place to do it. At least you do it like some random stranger.
Yeah, I was because I had to have so many showings. And she was like, "Come out here," and she's like, "You can, I'll do a showing thing." So I went out there, and yeah, I like pulled it out. I literally just pulled it out, and I was like, "Look how sharp this thing is." And I like laid it there, and I did something, and it slipped off and hit my finger. And dude, I mean, it was just, and I bled all over the couch. Yeah.
Oh, she probably didn't care.
No,
that's okay.
Yeah, we went wrapped it up and put a Band-Aid on it. And I was like, well, bye. Left. Wrote it down that I had a showing because my boss was like, you guys gotta show the knives to more people. I'm like, nobody will answer. I was literally going through a phone book. And I was like, you want to see some Cutco knives? And they were like, what's a Cutco knife? I was like, the best knife in the business. They were like,
Don't call here again.
You mean Rada? You throwing a pampered chef party? You got any Tupperware?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude, some people will buy that.
If you went to if you knew somebody, I didn't know anybody at the time. I still don't know anybody, but that lived like in a high-end neighborhood that like wanted to show off, that was the type of people they wanted you to target.
Yeah.
You know, like scammers target old people. They wanted you to target the people that were in like the subdivisions that like had like the fancy meals and stuff that they had people.
Yeah.
You ever been somewhere like that? Like somebody's house, it's like real fancy and like a fancy neighbor, like a real high end neighborhood that their house is like the size of a shoebox, but it was like they gave $250 for it, and it's like, but it looks huge, but it's all cut up in like sections, and like they have all this food there that's just like weird. You ever been there?
Yeah, I've been to a couple of houses that had like just super weird food.
Yeah.
Not so much like fancy, but
yeah,
just strange. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I went somewhere one time and I swear they served raw fish
at the house.
Yeah, not like sushi. It looked like they just filleted a fish and laid it on the table. People were over there just freaking cutting into it like, this is delightful.
You want to? You want some
Boswick?
raw salmon? Some raw salmon as a snack?
I was like, there's people that do that. I'm like, but I was like,
no, give me some nerd candies. Or something. Treat me like
y'all got any Whoppers? They leave there and immediately go to McDonald's.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of those nerd candies, oh man, I have an addiction to those nerd candies, the chewy nerds.
Yeah.
Not the clusters, but like the ones that come in the yellow bag.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I always like those nerds ropes.
Yeah.
Those were good.
That's what the nerd clusters are like.
Yeah, those suckers were freaking delightful.
These chewy nerd candies that I get, they're like, it's like kind of hard on the outside.
Yeah.
But it's like crunchy.
Yeah.
And then on the inside, it's kind of like a little gummy.
Oh, yeah. I know. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. I know what you're talking about.
I eat like almost a bag a day.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't eat much candy anymore.
Like I don't eat nothing but candy.
Really?
Oh, man,
dude, I don't even eat.
I'm very bad
anymore.
I haven't eaten in 7 days.
Yeah, I've been fasting I'm catching up with some of the milestone people. I haven't ate for 32 days, but no, like anymore. Like I'll wake up of a morning and I will take my medicine for my blood pressure, and I'll drink a Propel. I might eat a banana.
Those Propels are good.
Yeah, I love them. And I'll drink that, and like sometimes Kate will make those cinnamon rolls.
Oh, and, yeah. Yeah, we were supposed to have some of those.
I know. We had some this morning. I think she might have cooked the last one. But we got to go to Sam's and get some more.
I'm so hungry.
But she if she doesn't, like, I'll just grab something. And some mornings I won't grab anything. And then I'll eat like lunch, like just like a sandwich or a hamburger or something. And I won't eat anything else all day long. I'll just drink water.
Yeah.
And until I get home, whatever time that is. And then if Kate's got supper, I'll go in there and warm it up and eat some of it.
I'm about the same way.
And then I'll go to bed. But my problem is like when I do come home to eat, like I eat.
Oh yeah.
And that kills me, man. That kills me. I've
Feel
got to
like you
learn
go
to
into a
start.
coma.
Yes, dude. I got to learn to start doing it in moderation, like just eating a little bit, like not going. And I would rather. I want to start doing that carnivore diet really bad because I want to take out all the sugars and stuff like that. Because they say if you can take them out for like a week or 2 weeks, you can make your body realize that they don't need it,
Yeah.
and you can get full on like just real rich protein packed foods like eggs and steak and hamburger and stuff like that.
Actually nutritious.
Yes.
Stuff.
And you can lose a ton of weight while doing it.
Yeah, no, I can't do it.
But
I have sugar.
I don't know.
I'm like a kid.
I don't really need to lose a lot of weight. Like I would like, if I lost some, I'd like to lose maybe like 20 pounds. But that's about it. But I mean, like I would just want to do it for the health factor because everybody that does it says they feel so much better. And like, dude, like the other day I drank that energy drink. I don't drink them all the time. And you ever had a Reign?
Yeah, I drink them all the time.
You like those orange dreamsicle ones?
Yeah, they're okay. They were good at first, but I kind of got burned out of them.
I love them. Yeah. And I drank one the other day, and I felt great. And then, dude, when I crashed off that, which it has no sugar. Yeah. It's just got that so much caffeine, and I don't drink that much caffeine. Oh. And, dude, I crashed. I had the worst. I felt like when I had drank like a shot of espresso. Like all that caffeine in it. Yeah. And dude, when I come down off that, I have the worst headache known to man.
Man, see, I wish it affected me like that. Like
it kills me, dude.
But like I'll take I take Adderall every day. Mm-hmm. Like that doesn't really affect me a whole lot either. Like if anything, it just like slows me down. Yeah. But like caffeine literally has like zero effect on me.
Oh really?
I swear I could drink like 3 or 4 bangs in a day.
That would kill me.
Dude, I swear at one point, like, I would take like caffeine pills and stuff too and drink energy drinks. Yeah. And like I wouldn't even like notice anything for I would be taking like 1,600 milligrams of caffeine a day. Gosh. Like every day.
Good day. Your heart's probably pumping on its last piston.
Man. I'm surprised I'm not dead.
Dude, if I drink a Rockstar... Mm-hmm. You ever drink Rockstars?
No, I don't like them.
Oh, dude, I love a fruit punch Rockstar.
Yeah, you've always liked those.
Oh, dude, they're so good.
You're like the only person I know
that drinks them. Yeah, dude, they're so good. And if I drink it and I don't drink it in moderation, like I chug it. Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to for me because that fruit punch flavor is so good. Yeah. But like, if I chug
I'd like to get one now,
dude, my heart starts my heart starts fluttering. My chest gets tight.
I love that feeling.
Oh, I hate it.
I'm just kidding.
I hate that feeling. And the Reign doesn't give that to me. So that's the reason I drink those. But like I had a Rockstar here, I don't know, when we went to the beach. Dude, I don't know. I think they put crack in those things. They wire me up. The Reign and stuff doesn't do that. The other ones don't do that. They don't like hype me up. They just keep me awake. And then when it comes down, the only reason I know that I'm coming off of it is because I have a headache. That's it. But it makes me like hyper freaking focused. Yeah. On what I'm doing. And that's the reason I like them so much. And the Rockstar, it's just like gives me energy. Like I could freaking run through a brick wall. Like, yeah. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I wish it affected me like that. I don't know if it's like I have narcolepsy too. It's like a sleep cycle.
You're just down bad, ain't you?
Dude, I'm borderline dead. But like whenever I sleep, like I don't like there's no like in between, like there's no light sleep and then whatever, then REM sleep. Yeah. Like whenever I go to sleep, I go straight to REM and I stay in REM sleep the whole time. But it's like whenever I wake up, like I never feel well rested at all. So like just constantly drained. And then I dream all night long. Like every single night. Yeah. The most craziest stuff you could ever imagine. One time I was dead and my family was looking over me and I was buried in the ground with my butt sticking out of it. And they pulled off the tarp and I had a golden Christmas tree coming right out my butt.
What the heck?
Dude, stuff like that. Just the wildest stuff. I don't know if that's why like caffeine and like stimulants like don't like they have little to no effect on me.
That's a wild dream.
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't have dreams.
See,
If I do, I'll wake up in the middle of the night. It's like somebody. The dreams that I have the most often are the dreams where there's somebody chasing me.
Oh, and you can
And
never,
I'm
like,
getting
run
to the
fast
door. No, I get out. Ain't nobody gonna catch me. I get to the door, and I literally open the door, and I'm always in a warehouse. I'm in the same warehouse every time.
Do you recognize it? Like,
No, I don't recognize it at all. But when I wake up in that dream, when I'm in that dream, like I'm
Yeah.
alert, like I know everything's going on, and I know where I'm at in that warehouse, and it's like I know where the door is, and I'm like coming around the curve, and it's this tall guy, and he's like chasing after me, but he's walking, and I'm running full sprint, and it's like I can't get away from it.
yeah.
And like I keep running and I keep running and I keep getting closer to the door and closer, and he keeps getting close. And it's like as he reaches out to grab me, I grab the door handle and open it up and run out and slam the door. And when I slam that door, every time I wake up.
Oh man,
Every time.
I like dreams like that.
I do too.
Repetitive.
I wake up, I'm like,
Yeah.
missed me again.
Have you ever what do they call it? Lucid dreamed. You know what that is?
Where the freaking demons or whatever out?
No.
What's that called?
Like
What am I called? What is that called?
like seeps. What are you talking about? Like
Where like people say they have all these beings in their dreams, and it's like is it like in some? Maybe it's in some. What is that?
insomnia is like not being able to
What
sleep.
is that? What is that called? When you have like there's a word for it, and it's on the tip of my tongue. It's not lucid dreams. It's something like that. It's like you get to a point where in your dream or something you start seeing seeing stuff.
I don't know.
Or it might have to deal with. No, I was right. It deals with insomnia when you're so far out, like you're so sleepy, but you can't, and you start seeing stuff.
Oh, like hallucinating and stuff?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
No,
I was on the right track. Yeah.
Like lucid dreaming is like where like you're in a dream and you can recognize that you're in a dream. So then you can instead of like the dream taking you
A direction,
you can control at which you can make your own choices within a dream.
Nah, I ain't never had that. Boy, there's been
Dude,
times I wish I did.
There's a couple of times that I've done that, just because it would be like a dream I've had before.
Yeah.
And I don't know what clicks, but like oh, okay, I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
And then therefore you can make your own choices and dictate how the rest of the dream plays out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I have the craziest dreams.
Nah, I ain't never had one of them.
I would be in prison or a mental institution if people saw the dreams that my mind dreams up.
Nah, I ain't never had one of them. Can't say I have.
Do you ever remember your dreams or anything?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's the same here. Like I can wake up and like recall.
You ever have a dream that your wife cheats on you? Or like you cheat on them and you wake up and feel guilty?
Like, dang, man, I shouldn't have done that in my dream.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I've had that happen. Like, or not, like it's like you yeah.
That are like cried in your dream, and then you wake up and you're crying.
I ain't never woke up crying.
And I swear, like, I've had dreams like where I've like just been sitting there bawling, crying, and like when I wake up, my eyes are wet, like I've been crying. It's weird, man.
Nah, I ain't never dreamed that. Can't say I have. I've never dreamed crying. I've dreamed and woke up guilty for something that I did in my dream. like I was on like one time in a dream, I stole some stuff and sold it. And it was like high-end stuff. Like I robbed a jewelry store or something. And I woke up and I felt guilty about it.
Man, I shouldn't have done that.
But yeah,
I know better than that.
Yeah, I've had dreams that goes both ways. And like you wake up in the middle of the night and you just roll over, and I'll just look at her. I'm like, you just wait.
Like, I'll stab you.
Like, you try that again. And she's had them too. She's woke up in the middle of the night. She'd be like real mad. Wouldn't even say nothing to me the next morning.
Like, actually mad at you or something you
and
didn't.
She'd be like, yeah. She was like, you cheated on me in my dream.
Like, don't you remember?
Like, did you give me an excuse?
Like, no, in my dream, I was sniffing cocaine. I was this grizzly bear.
I was at the MGM with Bruno Mars. Oh, shoot. No.
Dreams are wild, man.
They are. They are, dude. If life was as wild as my dreams were, I'd be in one wild spot.
Oh, gosh.
Dang, you'd be in the ground with a Christmas tree shoved up a freaking...
Yeah. Golden Christmas tree.
Well, I say we call it there. It's been a long one.
Golden Christmas trees out of the anus.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Dang, this is like the longest one I think we've ever did. It's over 2 hours.
Is.
Holy crap.
Yeah, we've been going at it for a while.
We have. It doesn't feel like it. It's been a long time since we've been in here.
Yeah, we got to make up for lost time.
We do. We have to. And, sorry about that, guys. The ones that we've not been on the best schedule. Matthew's been on a work trip thing, and we just haven't been able to make it work. We were going to maybe try and do one virtual and just didn't get the opportunity with him being busy and everything, and then I didn't get in till late, so that's just the way it fell. But he's back now, and we're back on track. So
get back in rhythm.
Yeah, we'll get back in the rhythm.
I think we say that every episode.
I think we do too. We've yet to get in that rhythm.
Now we're good though. Now we're set. So.
Yeah, we should be all right for a while. And but I want to thank you guys for listening.
Hopefully
really appreciate it.
Have some pretty good guests lined up.
I hope so. We're trying.
Big things in the works.
We're really trying to. We had some people lined up. We're kind of waiting to hear back from, and kind of maybe get a date and stuff set. And then once we do, we'll let you guys know on like our TikTok and stuff, like we've said. If you don't follow us over there, go follow us. Everything's at the Fifth Take. And we'll like I said, when we get somebody, we'll try and work something up a little bit ahead of time to do just like a little preview or something.
Yeah, like a little teaser.
It's like a little teaser trailer or something on TikTok or something like that.
Yeah.
But again, if you're new here or anything, or if you found out about us, just do us a favor and, just kind of share it, get it around. We would appreciate a like and a follow and stuff.
Yeah.
Works more than what you know on this kind of thing. Because the more you promote it, the more views we can get and listens and things. And that gets us in a better spot with Spotify. And then that gets us further out there so that we can actually reach more interesting people to have on.
Yeah. We want to get some awesome people on.
For you guys. Because it's like...
Yeah. It's good entertainment. Like for you guys, it's awesome stuff to learn and just find out, stuff about people you didn't know.
Yeah, like we want to interview people that has a really good backstory, kind of, and you only know them for one thing, and you want to get to know like the deep, like who they are, why they do what they do, or what influenced them to go this route instead of that route, and how social media played into their persona blowing up and all that stuff. And but we're trying to get some people, or just some interesting stuff. Heck, we would have anything on that ranges from somebody in a medical field or scientific thing, anything. We're interested in all that kind of stuff. So we're trying to get some people lined up that we can talk to, and maybe us learn something, and you guys can learn something along the way on your drive home, or maybe while you're doing your workout, or just mowing the yard, or anything. So, but like I said, we want to thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. And we will catch you guys in the next one.
Yep.